Bring back rock.
Hey, it's Dean and welcome to Bring Back Rock. Today we're talking about one of those bands that ruled the Sunset Strip. They had friends like Tuff and Poison and Warrant. They had a lot of success independently, but by the time they got that elusive record contract, the time for the LA bands, unfortunately for them and for us, had passed. I just want to say thanks to everybody that's hit that subscribe button. If you don't mind, if you haven't done it yet, hitting it now, it makes my day, it really does. And now we're going to get right into it and tell you a little bit about Cherry Street.
All right, let's get right into this. I'll let you know that Cherry Street was formed in LA in 1989. Let me tell you how they formed. Guitarist Tom Mathers was working at Guitar Center and got to know many of the Sunset Strip musicians, including a bassist named Don Spinner Korbecki. Now, Tom and Don were both from Michigan and sort of formed a bond over that. Don suggested they bring a singer he knew from Michigan out to LA to join him. At the same time this was happening, said singer was in Michigan thinking about making the move to LA with his guitarist. So, Chris Van Dahl and Todd Taz Anthony came out as a package, joining Tom and Don in LA. Tom had a band named Rox, R-O-X-X, which had a gig booked. The guys played it as Rox, but figuring every town had a band with the name Rox, R-O-X-X, they decided to change the name. The name Slut was suggested and quickly rejected, but the band lived on, you guessed it, Cherry Street, and people always found this either cool or humorous that they lived on Cherry Street, so they figured that'd be a good name for the band. The band's popularity exploded. Within a year, the band had recorded a 3-song demo which sold over 8,000 units independently, and also garnered them significant airplay on KNAC. Now, if you're around at the time, you know KNAC was LA's premier rock station, supporting not only the national acts, but also the local Sunset Strip bands. Tom Monroe Mathers and Todd Taz Anthony were the mainstays of the band. Chris Van Dahl was the main vocalist. Billy Cohn from Rings of Saturn briefly replaced him, but Chris quickly came back. Jamie Scott came in on bass, and Mark Razzle came in on drums shortly after the EP was released. Mark Razzle was replaced by Kelly James in 1991, and in 1991, Jamie Scott was replaced after he left to join Tyketto by Red Russell. Now, in 1990, the band recorded a home video for fans that included a video for the song The Walk, which included cameos by many of the band's more famous friends, guys like John Bon Jovi, Sam Kinison, Tracy Guns, Janie Lane, Bret Michaels, CeCe DeVille, and Lemmy. Quite a lineup there. In 1992, the band released a self-titled CD, which became the first release on Perris Records. All the songs were re-recorded for their debut album that came out in 1993 called Squeeze It Dry. The band was supposed to record Squeeze It Dry in Ricky Rockett's studio, but with Sass Jordan and Motorhead already booked there, the band couldn't make their summer release and record in that studio like they wanted. You might be familiar with some of the people that helped on this album. Eric Turner of Warrant and Tommy Thayer of Black and Blue and now Kiss produced one of the songs. Pat Reagan of Ace Frehley fame also produced a song, as well as mixing and mastering the album. In 1996, Perris Records released Monroe, which had Tom and Taz on guitar, Jimmy Fox on bass, Andy Kelly on drums, along with a slew of guest vocalists such as Mark Turenne from Bullet Boys, Kevin Steele from Rox Gang, and Stevie Rochelle from Tuff and other bands. Now in 1999, they released Buster Cherry with Brian Vollmer of Helix on lead vocals. Jason McMasters also appears on one song. And then in 2000, they released Rated X with Wes Kimball on vocals. Twisted, Rude, and Sticky Sweet is the latest Cherry Street album. It was released in 2023 and contains demos recorded before their debut. A bootlegger was selling copies for as much as $140 on eBay, and the quality wasn't great. So, Perris Records gathered up the original recordings, had them cleaned up as much as possible, gave us a cool insert with a number of photos from back in the day, and gave the fans a proper and affordable release. Tom Mathers fired up Perris Records in 1994, basically to release Cherry Street music, and his label has been going strong ever since. I bought quite a few releases, especially in the 90s musical wasteland, as Perris was home to such artists as Mad Margaret, Rox Game, Jamie St. James, Freight Train Jane, and The Loveless, which was basically a continuation of the Electric Angels. Tons of great music. I also discovered a lot of new artists I maybe hadn't heard of through that famous Perris Records sampler. Now, Chris Van Dahl was in LA Guns for a time and is on the American Hardcore release. He also worked with Jimmy Crespo of Aerosmith. Kyle of Bang Tango was also in that project. I would love to hear some music from that. He has also performed as Steven Tyler all over the world. He even appears as Steven Tyler in a re-recording of the song Magic by Olivia Newton-John, which is by Olivia Newton-John and her daughter Chloe Latanzi, if I said that correctly. I hope I did. More recently, Chris and Taz are in the band Angels in Vain together and have recently released the album Long Time Coming in 2023. Taz also owns Blue Ocean Music Group, so that's what they've been up to recently. Let's listen to some of their samples, and I'll catch up with you again at the end of the video.
Keeps on edging stronger. The sick addiction fades. Whoa, that girl's gonna fall. Talk about jam if you got the time. Jam if you got the money. Talk about jam. She's on top of the world. It's time to learn a lesson, honey. She cried out now. Come on, baby, use me. You like to cheat, you like to lie. But when it happens to you, yeah, you wonder why. Oh yeah, what comes around goes around. I see through your lies when I look in your eyes. You have the nerve to say I love you. Under my skin, down to all my loving, but I still can't win. Going like dynamite flowing. The pressure's too high. You're like a train song, timeless slow, never give a damn at all. So kiss this goodbye. I got no doubt about, no doubt about, no doubt about it at all. No doubt about, no doubt about, no doubt about it at all. Watching like a vulture moving in for the kill.
He's on a roll. Your bet, put up a fold. Give me your silver, give me your gold.
So set 'em up and watch me knock them down. They got my name on the key to the sound. I play to win, so deal me in. And when you do, you better smile. The stakes are high, so am I. And don't you know this joker's wild? When I think of you, I try to smile. I close my eyes just a little while. They say that love comes with time, but seasons change, so did I. Show us fine, show us fine, show us fine, show us fine. Now my baby knows you show us fine. Show us fine, show us fine, show us fine, show us fine. Hey, you look over me. I wanna know your name. I'm not trying to take advantage of you. Just wanna play your game.
right, so that's a little bit about Cherry Street. Now, where can you find them? If you love the physical media like I do, your best place to go is Perris Records, Perris, Perris Records. You can also find them anywhere else that your CDs are sold. Get them in the secondary market, and lucky for us, all the Cherry Street music is streaming. And their discography is worth checking out because it kind of changed a little bit with the different singers, so go check them out. I want to thank people like Hurricane Racing and Lou Tai for hitting that subscribe button, everybody else who has. I also enjoy hearing the comments and getting the suggestions from you. Problem is, every time I do a video and take a band off the list, I'm adding about 4 or 5 more bands onto the list, so it keeps growing, but there's so much great music from back in the day. Keep those suggestions coming, please. And as always, thank you for spending time here, and thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.